You're listening to Eat, Play, Sex with Dr. Cat, the place to up-level that sexy life of yours, with expert talk on sex, love, and nutrition.
The Psychedelic Coalition for Health was started by a colleague of mine, Lauren Taus. We saw, heard, very much got that there is a need for clinicians to be educated, not even just to work with altered, non-ordinary states of mind, whether they're going to work with ketamine in their private practice or other psychedelics as they become available. Mm-hmm. But every day, there are people coming to their therapist saying, hey, I've been hearing about this. I've been hearing about, mushrooms or this or that. Or I just had this experience, or I had this experience, 20 years ago. Yeah. And this thing came up. So to educate therapists in how to work with, from an integration, in order to integrate psychedelic experiences is becoming a great priority.
I love that you brought up integration, because that's something that I've seen missing in the ceremony culture is, so I have worked with some elders from Peru around ayahuasca and ayahuasca circles, and witnessed how some of the pieces that are missing there. I'm thinking of, okay, where's the prep for some of these? Because I've witnessed participants have experiences and not understand what would be going on. So people who don't know how to journal, they don't know how to separate their thoughts, they don't know how to use the medicine in a way that more like an archetype, or they don't know how to utilize that space once they're in it, or even post an experience, taking what you learn and making it concrete. So taking it out of the cognitive mental space and into something that you can use in your everyday life, because otherwise it's just like these insights and these lights and flashy things, and like, okay, so what do you do with that? And then people just like go back to their regular life, because how hard it is to actually change a habit. It takes work, it takes consistency, but I don't actually see many people doing the work afterward, or really, like, they don't know how to do the work. I think that's the piece of it. They're not taught how to do it. So they're riding this wave of, oh my God, my nervous system feels so light. I felt one with the world. I felt, all this stuff. But then like 2 weeks, a month later, it's like gone. So how do we make this something that is for lasting change and not just the moment?
Big smile over here. Yes. So integration, the main word I pair with that is inclusion. How do we include the big experience that was just had? So you, to refer back to some of what we've talked with, so within, say, an MDMA session, someone just revisits a traumatic experience, and they're able to witness or have a different view or perspective on that. So how do we then integrate that? How do we include that new memory, that new experience into our ongoing life? And on kind of the ceremonial space for many is like, okay, I'm going to go to this other country or continent, have this experience with maybe a bunch of people that I don't know and may not see again, and then I'm going to come right back to my situation here. Our hope with PCH, the Psychedelic Coalition for Health, is to really promote integration as a before, during, and after of any psychedelic session. And I don't mean the psychedelic,
just like the 2-hour trip.
Within each one and over the course of the entire either research or treatment for someone.
Yes, yes, yes. I want to highlight that for everybody who's listening, because then you're describing it more as a tool and not the actual thing that does the change.
That's right.
Yeah.
So as we know, with ketamine or other psychedelics, it can be a break. And to what I was saying before, that can be a very useful thing for someone to kind of get a little bit of a break. And for me, it leaves a lot of meat on the bone. There's a lot of therapeutic potential there. So during that break, if we and even prior to that medicine-assisted experience, that there's an intention and a game plan of what the aim is, and then also how would someone, what are some options of how someone might continue to refer to or include that into their experience days, weeks, years, decades after any peak experience that arises during a medicine-assisted session.
Yeah, so somebody is really held through this process and not just kind of left to their own. And I hear this a lot. I feel this very passion burning inside of me, because it really gets to me, this experience of spiritual bypassing that I often see used in the culture of, oh, well, you were supposed to, that's your lesson from the medicine, or that's your lesson from this thing of like, no, I was left in the middle of, this space where I couldn't move and had, this whole re-trauma, and where was the facilitator to hold that space, or something. Things can go sideways, and then it's just like, use this, oh, well, what's your lesson, or and so here you're like really holding a container, like a tight container for long, like 2 months, 4 months, whatever, to pillow this experience.
Exactly. So yes, held in a therapeutic relationship that preceded and that will exist after medicine sessions. And there's bad actors in traditional therapy, and then bad actors, unethical facilitators that, as you said, would be quick to kind of bypass ownership or responsibility for lack of care, preparation, or training, as writing it off to like, oh, that's just what the medicine showed you. Quick sidebar, it's not to say that all challenging, well, there can be challenging experiences that we do get a lot out of, but the point that's being made here is that it's so important to provide for the physical safety, the emotional safety around people in this extra vulnerable state of working with medicine.
Lovers, thank you again for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, hit subscribe and head over to eatplaysex.com to connect with me and grab my sexy guides. Because my goal here is to get you to eat, play, and sex better, so you can improve your sex life, which will improve every aspect of your life. Until next time, keep it sexy.